Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and it's another Friday and another me going to get my 11-year-old still will not let me out of the deal. When he was young, I said on Friday I will go and get you breakfast somewhere. To this day, this kid is standing at my bed. If he wakes up before me, he is standing there. First word out of his mouth is breakfast, and I have to go somewhere to get him breakfast. This is true, and he won't let me out of it. He said I can't get out of it until he goes off to college. Let's talk gold, folks. Watch this right here.
It sounds crazy because it has risen so much, but it's still early in the bull market. The way we see it's going to be a long-lasting one, and it's going much higher. So if you have gold, I mean, you could still be averaging in at these higher prices. And for a newcomer, we don't think it's too high to get in. So
I appreciate you saying that, especially for the newcomers, because in one of your latest editions of the newsletter, you say, and if this bull market ends up gaining at the same rate as the last two big bulls, gold could end up peaking at the anywhere between $6,700 and $24,000 levels, or somewhere in that area. Now, some might say 24,000. Is that crazy?
No, it sounds totally crazy. And we even know when we write that it sounds crazy, but it's not, because what we did is we took the last, as you know, gold's been going up since the late 60s. So it's one big bull market. But within that, there have been two big bulls, with the ups and downs. And the last two bull markets, if you take the percentage gains and apply them to the current bull market, those are the numbers that we come up with. So it has happened before. I mean, the first bull market was the big one that took gold from the late $35 an ounce up to $850. But the second bull market, in which we call, the bulls within the big bull. So the second bull market that started in 2001 and went up to until 2011, that one gained 600 and some %. So that's a one that if it's just like that one, it would be $6,700 in the current one. So not to say it's going to repeat exactly the same, but it could.
I think this is the big one for gold. That's why I'm a gold buyer. That's why I have a sponsor called Miles Franklin. And all you have to do is go to Miles Franklin. You'll see their specials right on the home page. Then you go up and click up here. It'll say sign up, and then it'll give you a referral code box. You just enter DAI Gold. I also have the link to this in the top of the description of this video. Check this out. Meta Lawman is coming to XRP Las Vegas. He says he's looking forward to sitting down one-on-one on stage with the food stamp warrior himself, John Deaton, and meeting his Twitter friends in the XRP community. T-minus 14 days. Let's see what the countdown actually is. 13 days, 15 hours. Get
ready, XRP.
And by the way, we have all the links in the description. If you're in DAIXRP.com, I've got 2 discount codes for XRP Las Vegas in there.
We are now under 30 days from XRP Las Vegas 2024, celebrating a new era in finance with the XRP community at the largest XRP conference in the world. Our amazing speaker lineup with Perry Ann Boring, Christopher Giancarlo, David Schwartz, Simon McLaughlin, Kevin Maloney, Andy Schechtman, Nancy Beaton, John Deaton, Joe Endosa, Farhan Prat, James Metalawman, Lynette Zhang, Will Petruski, Jeremy Hogan, Robin O'Connell, Jason Cousins, Greg Kidd, and newly added Congressman Wiley Nickel. Thanks to our sponsors for your support of XRP Las Vegas 2024.
There's a lot of people in that lineup I have not met yet. I haven't met Greg Kidd. Let's see. Most of them I have met. I met Perry Ann Boring when I was in at Consensus in Austin one time. I've met Giancarlo. I've met David Schwartz. I've met Simon McLaughlin. I've met Kevin Maloney. I have not met Andy Shackman. Let's see, go to the next one. I've met Nancy Beaton, John Deaton, Joe Endoso. Haven't met this guy, Farron Pratt. Have not met James Metalawman in person. Have not met Lynette Zhang. Let's see. I hadn't met Jeremy Hogan in person yet. Met Will Petruski. Met Robin O'Connell. Met Jason Cousins. I have not met Greg Kidd and have not met Congressman Wiley Nickel. All right. But XRP Las Vegas is not the only countdown today. In fact, by the way, today's April 19th. Brad Combs is going up on the prices on April 25th, so you better hurry up if you are wanting to buy last-minute tickets. But that's not our only countdown today. Today is the Bitcoin halving countdown, 10 hours, 43 minutes, 13 seconds, with a Bitcoin price of 65. And remember, folks, historically, the real action happens with prices going up in Bitcoin and all the altcoins after the halving. For 6 to 18 months is my understanding. Check this out.
You know, that Canadian clip is so scary because that really could happen in America. The Federal Reserve has already talked about potentially a bail-in. They will not bail the banks out again, Charles. If anything happens, money could be frozen and clients will be locked.
Think Ice 9, Jim Rickards. Bail-in. They're not just talking about it, they have written it into these banks' policies.
You believe that, though?
No, I don't believe that would happen.
No, do you believe they won't bail the banks out? Two things. You've got the Federal Reserve, which really is a bank for the wealthy.
Right.
I mean, it's a bank for the banks and a bank for the wealthy. That's who they work for. They don't work for the U.S. for citizens. It's time people understood that.
I'm so glad you said this because so many people think that because we're the world reserve currency that we have to bail out the dollar, that we won't let our system collapse. What they don't understand is what the BRICS nations are doing to basically do cross-border payment transactions in local currencies without a reserve alternative to the dollar. So yes, I believe with the amount of deficits that we're running, that we just seem to carte blanche. We're not in a war right now directly. We're not in a pandemic, and yet we're still getting a $7.3 trillion budget proposal from this administration.
We're in a psyop. The U.S. government's trying to make you think that we're behind and China and all of them are way ahead of us. We're in a psyop, and we have been for at least 10 to 12 years since the creation of all this crypto stuff. We've been in a psyop. I can assure you of that.
I started out as a skeptic. I think what got me past being a skeptic is the notion that this is immutable. It's decentralized in a way that makes it very powerful. The network itself is scaling. And if you think about the way we treat money in our society over the last 5,000 years, Bitcoin checks all of the boxes. The only box it doesn't check is central bank manipulation, which I think it makes it way...
Well, actually, it doesn't check the how expensive it is box. It doesn't check the speed box. Doesn't check the scalability box. There's a lot of boxes it doesn't check.
Yeah.
It can't be used for money. They changed to store value because they realized all that.
And so at $1.4 trillion, could this trade to half the market capitalization of gold, where gold is $16 trillion today?
But he knows that. This guy was in the White House. These are people that know. They know we're in a psyop.
We believe it can. We actually think it's going to go through the market capitalization of gold. And if you're making the point that the American owners in an ETF are not going to be enough to get it there, I disagree, because over time, the acceptance regulatorily is going to allow people to put it in the portfolio. A 1% position in these global portfolios.
There's a reason this guy is on CNBC. They've got these chosen CNBC people that have to go on and keep the psyop going. Apparently, Jamie Dimon is not participating.
Crypto.
If you mean crypto like Bitcoin, I've always said it's a fraud.
No hope for it.
Well, if they think they're a currency, there's no hope for it. It's a Ponzi scheme. It's a public, decentralized Ponzi.
Yeah. That got to make a lot of people nervous. Now, I want to make sure everybody caught the most important part of Brad Garlinghouse's talk yesterday is when he said this about Tether.
$150 billion asset class right now. Some forecast it to be over $2-3 trillion in a few years. The players in that space, particularly one called Tether, is a non-US based entity. And the US, frankly, is kind of going after that because they want this to be regulated. Just yesterday, there's a new bill introduced in the Senate to create some stablecoin legislation, which I think is a positive step of like, hey, finally we might get some forward momentum there. But I think that market's going to grow a lot. I think a US-based player who is compliance first has a great role to play.
It's a great story.
You mean regulations. You mean regulated crypto versus unregulated crypto. Who is the only digital asset with legal regulatory clarity in the United States? That would be XRP. And then Brad Garlinghouse had retweeted his comments. He's now tripling down on calling for the crypto market to be 5 trillion plus. Covered a lot of ground with Maria Bartiromo today. The Bitcoin halving, my predictions for the crypto market by end of year. How pro-innovation policies in the U.S. will prevail. Step 1, replace the SEC leadership. And step 2, Elizabeth Warren's staff should read some actual facts on crypto instead of spewing constant misinformation. And why Ripple is launching a USD-backed stablecoin on the XRP and ETH this year. Now, are you noticing a pattern yet? Laura Shin's now, all she can talk about Solana. Now that we've exposed ETHgate, she and all the Ethereum people have shifted to Solana. So what you're telling me is, you remember all the just pretty much every scam and garbage and cartoon monkey that was ever issued came out on Ethereum, and now the same kind of garbage is coming out on Solana. And so what do? Shift to Solana, because what can you do with all these garbage tokens? You can do pump and dumps. You can get the VCs to pump and dump on retail. And that's what it's always been about. This guy's kind of telling the truth about it.
You see what meme coins have done to Solana. I mean, the bullshit Solana TPS has been shown to be absolutely bullshit as people have started to trade these things, and 75% of transactions have started to fail on Solana. So good luck becoming the new ETH of this cycle. It's
almost like they want the network to be a network that doesn't work. Is either ridiculous. Remember when they were buying the cartoon monkeys and the ETH gas fees would be like $50 to $100 on a $50 to $100 product, if you want to call a cartoon monkey a product. Yeah, history repeats itself. Bill Hughes, and you got to understand, Bill Hughes is a lawyer for consensus, and he says the way the SEC has typically gone about declaring a token of security is generally going after some third party. But it's not clear the SEC is targeting any particular party related to Ethereum. Well, Bill Hughes knows this because he knows all about ETHgate. I said, hey, Bill, the reason they aren't targeting a third party like Ethereum Foundation or Consensus is because it would open up ETHgate discovery. And they know, just like Ethereum Foundation and Consensus know, they were all sitting there all cozy having closed door meetings, and the SEC and the CFTC were involved, and they don't want, if they sue Lubin or sue the Ethereum Foundation or Vitalik, all of a sudden discovery opens up and it all points right back at these government agencies that colluded with private industry to try to create a monopoly. And that's the fact, Jack. Now, check, you know what I'm going to wait to do this in the group, and what we're going to talk about. Boy, let me tell you what, people that are listening to my voice don't truly realize the times that we live in terms of what this opportunity is. I'm shocked that I still have to tell this. I was telling somebody on the phone yesterday, all these people are all negative, and they're, oh, we had a bad weekend last week, and the prices really got killed because Israel, whatever, Iran attacked Israel, and tax season. And the market really got killed, and everybody's all depressed. Folks, are you kidding me? We're in a once in 100 to 200 year opportunity. Raoul Pal understands this, but I don't just think that we're in that 1 to 200 year opportunity. I think we're in the one asset that is the greatest opportunity in 1 to 200 years. And people look at it and they say, oh, because XRP hasn't moved the way others have in recent time, because of that, somehow it nullifies everything that we've learned over the course of, 5+ years of talking about this and researching this and all of that. Come on, folks. Some of these people out here need to grow up. But in DAIXRP.com, I'm gonna further go into that, okay? And show you what this is. I'm going to further paint the picture. Okay, I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family that we might have to dip our toes in the all the world's a stage fall a little bit here, and away we go.